Good morning, dear learners. Welcome to teaching learning session. Today we'll discuss about questionnaire. Questionnaire is one of the important tools to collect the data, and it is one of the important tools which helps the researcher in conducting the research. How should we develop a questionnaire? We'll discuss about developing a questionnaire. Before we should start developing a questionnaire, it is very important to understand what is a questionnaire. What is a questionnaire? A questionnaire, as I told you, it is a tool. It is a tool for collecting the information which describes, compare, and explain an event or situation, as well as knowledge, attitude, behavior, socio-demographic characteristics of a particular target group. It is nothing but a tool. What is questionnaire? It is nothing but a tool which collects the various type of data. Data could be various type of data. Data could be related to attitude, could be related to behavior, socio-demographic behavior, socio-demographic data could be related from socio-demographic target group. From particular target. Discussed about the population and the sample size. Discussed about previous lectures and the sample size. So it is very important for a researcher while designing a research. While designing the research, the sample target population should be clear, and target population should be clear, estimation should have been done by the estimation should have been done by keeping in mind the target population. Keeping in mind the target population question. Researcher should develop the data and analyze the data. Collect the data and analyze before the designing of approach of researcher should be approach of researcher should like consider about the researcher should consider what is about the topic of the research. What is the on the basis of the topic of research, on the basis of the topic of research, researcher should develop because according to the objective, because according to question should be objective. The question should be there. It's a tool to collect the data. It's a tool. Answer should tool to collect questions, which helps us to attain our objectives. Which helps us to attain our objectives. What is the topic? So it is very clear that what is the topic. Who you want to survey? Then it should be very clear about. Then it should be very clear about who you want to survey. Whom you want to survey. Accordingly, you can develop a questionnaire. Accordingly, you can develop a questionnaire. Whether your population is literate and your population is literate, educated, uneducated, or males, females. Accordingly, you should develop males, females. Accordingly, you should develop a number of things. You have to consider a number of things while developing. Next important thing is the type of information researcher. The type of information researcher. What type of information do you want? What type of information from the respondent? From the respondent. Don't put haphazard questions in your question. Haphazard questions in your question. It irritates the respondent. Irritates. Then important thing is your budget. Then important thing is your budget. It is what is important because it will define how important because it will define how will you carry out your research. How will you collect the data? How will you collect the data according to the budget? We choose the style to collect the data. The style to collect the data, the interviews, we conduct the interviews, employees, the employees, the data. And next important aspect which a researcher should consider is how quickly researcher needs the information, the time, how much time the researcher is in his hand. So before designing a questionnaire, all these aspects should be considered, like the topic of the research, whom you want to survey, the type of information researcher want, budget, and time. Questionnaire design. Questionnaire design is a systematic process in which a researcher contemplates various question formats, consider a number of factors characterizing the survey at hand, ultimately words the various questions very carefully, and organize the questionnaires layout. So what is questionnaire design? It's a systematic process. The questionnaire design includes the various question formats. In which format you want to put your questions. Then researcher consider the number of factors on which he wants to ask the questions, on which he wants to carry out the survey, variables or the factors. Next is the words, the various question, the words of the questions matters a lot. You should choose your words very carefully. Next, organize the questionnaires layout. Which question should come first and which should come at the end. There should be a proper layout of the questionnaire. So while designing a questionnaire, it is very important that you should consider the various factors or the variables on which you want to ask the questions. Then choose the words very carefully about your questions, and then organize the questionnaires layout. Questionnaire design encompasses how to write questions and how to draft and organize a questionnaire. How to write a question, it is very important that researchers should choose words very carefully, very wisely. You should not use any unparliamentary or the biased language while designing a question. Question should sound neutral. Next is how to draft and organize a questionnaire. Then again, it is very important aspect, organization of the questionnaire. After writing a questions, it is very important to put the questions in a proper sequence. Sequences matter. It should cover up all the variables which you want to tap. Variable under study should be tapped in a questionnaire. The question should be put in a neutral form, and then organize a question according to the priorities. There should be a proper sequencing of questions. The art of asking question. Asking a question is an art. How one should ask a question? You must ask the right question. Respondent must understand your question. You should not use any semantics over there. Ask specific questions. It should be understandable. Respondent should understand your question. Respondents must know the answer. Respondent must willing and able to tell you the answer. Don't ask the questions which the respondent will not like to respond. Don't ask biased questions. So you should ask the right question. Your respondent must understand your question. Use simple language while asking the question. Respondent must know the answer. And respondent must be willing and able to tell you the answer. 3 simple rules for writing a questionnaire. There are simple rules for writing a questionnaire. The first is think through your research questions and objective before writing a question. You should know about your topic. Your objective should be crystal clear. And you should frame the questions according to your objective, so that you should frame the questions so that you can achieve your objectives. Frame the questions in a way that helps you to achieve your objectives. So your objective, your topic should be clear to you, what you want to achieve. Don't unnecessarily put more questions or questions which are not related to your topic or objectives. Prepare an analysis plan before you write a question. How will you analyze? Prepare an analysis plan before you write a question. How you are gonna to analyze your question? How will it help you to generalize your research? You should have a proper plan of action. Analysis plan. Analysis plan includes the type of variables you choose, the type of scales you choose, how you are gonna to analyze those scales or those variables. It should be very clear before preparing a questionnaire. Ask yourself in relation to point 1 or point 2, that is objective should be clear to you and analysis plan should be ready with you. If each question on your list is necessary, am I not writing any unnecessary questions? Or am I not writing any irrelevant question? Is there any irrelevant question in my questionnaire? Ask yourself if each question in your list is necessary. Is it necessary to ask this? Even if the data would be interesting, it has to ultimately be used in the analysis to make the cut. Just for the sake of collection of data, don't ask the questions. Ask the questions which is very important or which is required for your research. Your questionnaire should be short and crispy. If you will ask, say, n number of questions from the respondent, at times respondent loses interest. They don't have time to go through your questionnaire and they avoid to fill up your questionnaires or answer your questions. So ask important and necessary questions. Even if data is interesting, it should be used in analysis to make the cut. Okay? Types of survey questions. What should be the types of the questions? Questions that ask about the behaviors or facts. If you want to ask about something about the facts or the behaviors, the question must ask about the behavior or the facts. Non-threatening behavior questions, threatening behavior questions, demographics. If you want to collect the data about the demographics, question should be related to demographic. Those that ask about the psychological state or attitude, if you want to measure the psychological state or an attitude of someone, then the question should be related to that. And if you want to know about ask about the knowledge, then question should be related to that. What is a good question? A good question is that one that yields a truthful and accurate answer. One that asks for one answer on one dimension. There should be one answer for one dimension. There should be not more than one answer for one dimension. If someone has answered more than one, or if someone has chosen more than one option for a single question, that question should be discarded. One answer on one dimension. Ask for one answer on one dimension. One that accommodates all possible contingencies of responses. It should cover up all the contingencies of the responses from A to Z. It should cover up the continuum. Use specific, simple language. While asking a questionnaire, your question should be specific, to the point, concise. Language should be simple so that respondent can understand it easily and without any ambiguity can answer your questions. One that has mutually exclusive response options. Responses ask the questions which are mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means, suppose if you want to know about the age and if you have made the group age groups, then it could be, suppose it is from 0 to 5, then another group should be 6 to 10 or 11. 6 to 10. Then 11 to 14. Then 15 to say 20, right? It should be mutually exclusive. It should not be like 0 to 5, then 5 to 10, then 10 to 15. That is not mutually exclusive. Your option should be mutually exclusive. Agree, disagree. Strongly agree, strongly disagree. Neither agree nor disagree. Choose one. It should be mutually exclusive. One that produces variability in response. Ask the questions in a way that produces a variability in response. One that minimizes the social desirability, and one that is pre-tested. Your question should be pre-tested. Pre-tested, your questionnaire should be pre-tested. You should know the alpha value or the Cronbach's value of your questionnaire. What is the Cronbach's value or the alpha value of a questionnaire? Cronbach's value is, the Cronbach value of any good questionnaire should be more than 7. 0.7. If it is less than 7, then that questionnaire is considered, that questionnaire is not considered good. The value, if the value of your questionnaire or the value of your question comes out, or the Cronbach's value or the alpha value of your question is more than 7 or equals to or more than 7, then that question is considered to be good. So it is very important that your question or questionnaire should be pre-tested. Pre-tested means your question should be reliable and valid. Check the test to retest value. Pre-tested reliability and validity of questionnaire is very important. Your questionnaire is valid. You are asking valid questions, and your questionnaire is reliable. Reliable means if you are asking the same questions from the same group or different group, you are getting the more or less same type of the answers. So your questionnaire should be pre-tested. So your good question should accommodate all possible contingencies. Your language of a questionnaire should be specific, simple, mutually exclusive. Response option should be there. It reduces variability in responses. It minimizes the social desirability, and question should be pre-tested. A questionnaire should be pre-tested. Your questionnaire or question should be reliable and valid. 10 steps to a good survey design. The first is identify what you want to cover in survey. That means your objective, your topic and your objective should be very clear to you. You should know what you want to cover in survey. Second is put questions that are necessary. Third, keep it short and simple. Your objective should be clear. According to your objective, put the questions and those questions only which are necessary. Even if the facts are interesting, then even not then if it is not required for your research, don't ask the questions. Keep your questionnaire short and crispy, short and simple, because no one wants to invest much time in your questionnaire. Keep it short, crispy, so that you can get more answer. Ask one question at one time. Avoid using jargons. Don't ever never use jargons because semantics, because it can create a confusion. Never use jargons or semantics. Open-ended questions or close-ended questions. It should be very clear to you whether you want to ask open-ended questions or the close-ended questions. We'll discuss about open-ended or close-ended questions. Spend time to design your survey, because it is the tool on which your research depends. If you will not use a proper tool, then it will impact the results of your research. So spend time to design your survey. Make a plan, analysis plan before designing a questionnaire. After the response, analyze the response after collecting. After collection of data, analyze the responses. Put the summary report together and conclude your plan of action. So these are the 10 steps to design a good questionnaire or a survey design. Procedure for development. What is the procedure for development of a questionnaire? Specify what information will be sought. What type of information do you want from your respondent? Specify it. It should be very crystal clear to you what type of results, what type of information you want. Determine the type of questionnaire and method of administration. What type of questionnaire you want to develop? Open-ended questionnaire or a closed-ended questionnaire? Determine the type of questionnaire and how will you administrate that questionnaire. We discussed about the various methods of administration in our last lecture. Through mail, you can administrate your questionnaire. Through telephone, you can ask the questions. Through a field survey, you can ask the questions. Interview method is another. Observation method is another, through which you can analyze the things and determine the type of questionnaire and method of administration. Which methods will you like to employ? Determine the content of individual questions. Use proper words while framing a question. So the content of it is very important that you should pay attention towards the content of the question. Determine the form of response to each question. In which form you want the response. If you want, whether you want one response for the answer or there could be more than one responses, whether you want an elaborated answer for the questions or you want you want to ask objective type of a question. Determine the form of response. Determine the wording of each question. Use neutral words. Pay attention towards the wording of question. Your question should not hurt the sentiment of anyone. Never ever use unparliamentary language, biased language. So it is very important that it should be very clear to you what information you want to sort from your respondent. Determine the type of questionnaire, determine the method of administration, then the content of individual question, determine the form of responses to each question and the wording of each question. Type of questions in a questionnaire. There are two type of questions in a questionnaire: open-ended questionnaire and closed-ended questions. Open-ended question, more information. Open-ended question is that when you want more information about something, but it is difficult to codify and enter and analyze. That is the open-ended questionnaire. When we ask your comment about the event. Right? That type of question is open-ended question. It is very difficult to codify this type of a question. It is difficult to enter and analyze this type of a question. Closed-ended question is less information. We get the less information, but easy to codify, enter and analyze. We can easily codify that, analyze it and enter. Suppose you have to choose one option from 2 or 3 options. Do you know driving? Yes or no? Either yes or no. Either you know driving or you don't know driving. Right? Close-ended question. Do you know driving? If I ask, do you know driving? Right? And if it is an open-ended question, then one can write a number of things. Yes, I know driving, but I'm not a perfect driver. Right? I feel I face these types of problems while driving, so I'm not sure whether I know driving or not. N number of things one can write. Then it is difficult to codify, enter and analyze the question. But when I ask specific question, that is, do you know driving? Yes or no? Then this type of a questionnaire is close-ended questionnaire, and close-ended questionnaire is easy to codify, enter and analyze. Open-ended questions helps to collect qualitative data in the questionnaire, where the respondent can answer in a free form with little or no restrictions. You can write whatever one feels like. If this type of data is required by someone is conducting a qualitative type of a research, and the respondent can answer in a free form with little or no restriction, like what are your expectations or requirements from a product. Anyone can write a number of things what one expects or what one requires from the product. What do you see as the next action steps? Or what's the most important priority to you with this? Why? These type of questions are known as open-ended questions, and it is very difficult to analyze, codify these type of questions. Close-ended question, they are multiple choice question. As I said, it is multiple choice question in which respondent has to select one or many, depends, responses from a given list of options. Have you been stressed lately? Yes or no? You just have to choose either yes or no. Do you know driving? Yes or no? Do you smoke? Yes or no? Occasionally, you cannot choose occasionally because there is no option. Either yes or no. Even if it is occasionally yes. Right? Close-ended questions. Type of multiple choice question. When we ask close-ended question, there are various scales available for this multiple choice question. One of the most important scale is Likert scale. What is Likert scale? Likert was a social scientist, and he developed a scale, right? And to collect the data, and this is one of the good scales, right? A Likert scale is to collect the multiple choice question, like we give the options and one has to choose one single option for a question. And it is very important, remember one thing, scale should be odd number. If your scale is odd number, then that scale is known as balanced scale. Means at least there should be three options, like agree, disagree. If you will ask, suppose, let me explain it with example. The website was easy to navigate, agree, disagree, right? If it is like this, if you ask agree or disagree, then this scale is known as not balanced scale. If you want a scale to be balanced, a Likert scale to be balanced, it should be an odd number, that it is agree, disagree, neither agree nor disagree. I don't know, because I never navigated this. Sometimes it is easy, sometimes I feel like few options are like it is difficult to navigate few options. Say a checkout process is very cumbersome, or login process is very difficult. It asks a number of questions before logging in, but after logging in, it is easy to navigate the website. So I don't feel like it is easy or it is difficult. Neither easy nor difficult. Fine, it is okay, right? Agree or disagree, and neither agree nor disagree. It could be 3-scale Likert, 3-point Likert scale, 5-point Likert scale, 7-point Likert scale, right? 9-point Likert scale, 11-point Likert scale. All these scales are known as balanced Likert scale. If it is 2-point Likert scale, 4-point Likert scale, then these are known as unbalanced Likert scale. While numbering, right? So it is very important. If you will see, it is 5-point Likert scale. Strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. Neutral means zero. I neither agree nor disagree. So to one of the important scale to collect the data from multiple choices for closed-ended questionnaire is a Likert scale. Like the website was easy to navigate. Strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. Choose one of the options. The checkout process was simple. Checkout process was not that simple. I disagree with that. The products received was or were what I expected. Yes, I agree. But it was not easy to navigate because the checkout process was not that simple. Then another type of multiple choice question is checklist type. What is checklist type of a question? Checklist where you have option where you can choose more than one option. Then that is known as checklist type. Which of the following would you like to see in the showroom? Sports utility vehicle, sedan, hatchback, convertible, all of the above. Suppose I want to see sedan and the hatchback. I can choose two. So checklist type, use checklist type when you want that a respondent should answer more, can choose more than one options, right? Then multiple choice question. It depends on the researcher what type of questions, what type of scales which he wants to apply. Next is rank order questionnaire. Rank order, please rank the following topics on the scale of 1 to 5, 1 being your favorite. Rank it, whether you like pepperoni, whether you like mushrooms, olives, sausages, what you like. Rank it from 1 to 5 in order of 1 to 5, and 1 being your favorite. And fifth is the one you least want, or it is like you don't want that. Rank the order. Rank order. Suppose you have to choose, you have to give the preferences for your courses or for your colleges, and you should be ranked. One should use the rank order. The first order for this, if I get this course, X course, this is my first choice, Y course is my second choice, Z course is my third choice, or college is my first preference or a first choice, B would be my second, and C would be my third choice. So multiple choice question is rank order. You will have to rank according to rank on the scales, that is 1 to 5, 1 to 10, that depends, right? That depends on the researcher. Then rating scale. Then you have to rate. Rating scale is what? Waiting time. If you are asking about waiting time, you have to rate between 1 to 7. 1 means very poor and 7 means excellent. It could vary, right? Waiting time was, suppose I chose 4. It means neutral. How important is the length of waiting time to you? It is very important for me. The length of the waiting time is very important for me. So suppose I have chosen 7. Quality of magazine in waiting time, that is 3. Very poor, right? It is 3. It means still scope of improvement is there. Better, but it could be improved. How important is the quality of magazine in waiting room to you? It is very important. 7. So one should pay attention towards the quality of the magazine if you are getting these types of responses, right? Common mistakes while making a questionnaire, framing a questionnaire. What are the common mistakes? What might be wrong with this question, right? What was the first drink you had today? Tea, coffee, water, juice. Haven't had any drink or other. No. Please state all the options. Need to cover all the options. If you are, either it should be a open type of a question. What was your first drink you had today? Leave it and let the respondent write what he had, whether it's a tea, whether it's a coffee, juice, lime water, or anything else, right? If you are making it a closed type of a question, that is tea, coffee, water, juice, then you should cover up. There is a list of the drinks which one could take, right? So it should cover up all the options, need to cover all the options. So it is very important while you are asking these types of a question, make sure what type of a question it should be, whether an open-ended question or a closed-ended question. If there are there could be the n number of options, it is very difficult to list the n number of options. But at times we see that they write the n number of options. But when we feel like, no, I had nothing in the morning, add something else, then either the respondent will leave that question blank, will not choose any of the options, or will choose a wrong option. In either case, it will impact your research, because you will not get the correct response. Next is, what might be wrong with this question? What is your age group? 0 to 8, 18 to 30, 30 to 45, 45 plus. That question should be mutually exclusive. If it is 0 to 18, then from 19 to 30, then 31 to 45 and 46 plus. It should be mutually exclusive. Suppose I am 18. What should I write? I am 18 or 18 to 30. In which group I fell? 0 to 18 or 18 to 30? Or if I am 30, then 18 to 30 or 30 to 35? I am 30, just 30. Right? So it should be mutually exclusive. 30 or 31? 30 years, 6 months old, then choose 30, 18 to 30. If you are 31 plus, then 31. If you are 31 or more than 31, then choose 31 or 31 to 45. These are the common mistakes, right? 0 to 18, so it should be 19 to 30, 31 to 45 or 46 plus. This is the right way to ask. It should be mutually exclusive so that there should be no confusion. Suppose someone is 18 years and 1 month, then he could select 18 to 30. Or if someone is say from actually 19, then you will not get the correct type of a response. 0 to 18 means 0 to 18. If you are less than 19, then you fall in the category of 0 to 18. If you are 19 or more than 19, then you fall in the second category. It should be very clear. What did you think about the waiting time? Excellent, very good, good, average, or poor? Option should be balanced, right? Excellent, very good, good, average, or poor. It should not be like that. Either this is good. No, I don't feel like it is good, neither very good, excellent, poor. I'll not say it is poor, but there should be another option. It should be balanced. It should be very good, good, average, poor, or very poor. Although this is a balanced scale, but while making the options, make it balanced. Excellent, good, and very good taps the good responses. But to tap a poor response or a bad response, there is one option, that is poor. I feel like it is pathetic. It was pathetic. It was very poor. So it should be good, very good, average, poor, or very poor. What would you rate? How would you rate the appointment booking services using website, phone, reception, good, average, poor? Use opt-out responses appropriately. What would you rate? How would you rate the appointment booking services using website? I never used website to get the appointment. How could I rate this? Not applicable. Right? Phone or the website. That is website, phone, or the reception. Over the phone, yes, I always took the appointment over the phone. It is good. A reception, I could say poor. But I never used the website for the appointment. Then how could I give the rating for the things for the services which I have never utilized? So these are the common mistakes. Either I'll say good, average, or poor. Then again, it will impact your results. Because I am giving a biased result, I am not giving you the true, I am not showing you the true picture. Right? Demographics. Need to know how opinions and behavior varies in the different categories of a people. Right? Just such as gender, age, income, education level, political belief, right? Put at the end of the instrument. If you want to get some demographic responses, right, then put it at the end. And it should be easy to answer. Type of questionnaires, it should be self-completed, right? Self-completed, If it is self-completed, then you can either post those questionnaire or you can email those questionnaire so that one can send it back to you. Or another could be interviewer lead questions. That is, either you have to carry out the question, if you want to carry out the interviews, or if there are the certain questions which you want to ask, then it could be carry out face to face, through face to face interview, or through telephonic interviews. So depends what type of questionnaires you are utilizing. Self-completed questionnaires, there are pros and cons of each and everything. Self-completed questionnaire, costs less, but the interview-led questionnaires, it costs more than the self-completed. But the time in self-complete, it takes more time. The self-completed questionnaires take more time rather than the interviewer-led questionnaire, and there could be the chances that you will get less responses in self-completed questionnaire, but you will the chances of getting more responses or apt responses in an interview-led question. There are the chances that one can give the biased answer, or the wrong answers. But interview-led question, because interviewer is there, and if there is any doubt, then he can clarify that doubt to the respondent. But in self-completed, as researcher is not there to clarify the doubts. Self-completed respondent complete on their own, and it is best designed for measuring variable with numerous value or response categories. When you want to investigate attitude and opinion, not usually observable. Suppose you want to observe the stress value, or you want to observe the job satisfaction, that is not usually observable. Or you want to observe you want to tap the customer satisfaction level, it is not usually observable. Describing the characteristics of a large population and studying a private or difficult behavior, then one should use a self-completed questionnaire if you want to study a private or difficult behavior. Right? Close-ended item limit the research. Disadvantages of the self-completed is that this closed-ended items limits the researcher. If researcher wants to know more about the things, then it limits the researcher. Adjust for differences in respondents. Clarify misunderstood items. Explain ambiguity. Means, if there is any ambiguity, if there is any doubt, researcher is not there to clarify that ambiguity or doubts. Adjust for differences in respondents. Not suitable. This self-completed questionnaire is not suitable for all audience. Like for young children, if you will give them the questionnaire, there are the chances that you will not get the response, or you will get wrong responses. Visually impaired, learning or reading disabilities, then you cannot give them the self-completed questionnaire. How to obtain a valid information? Ask purposeful questions, important and required question. Ask concrete questions. Use time period based on importance of questions. Use conventional language. Use complete sentences, and questions should be short and crispy. So it is very important, while you are giving a self-complete questionnaire, ask only purposeful questions. If you will ask many questions, people will lose interest and they will just fill up the questions, or they will leave it that I'm not interested in filling up the questionnaire. Ask concrete question so that it should be easily understandable what the researcher is asking. Use conventional language. Use complete sentences. Don't use shortcuts. How to obtain a valid information? Avoid abbreviation. Never use abbreviation. If you want to write role ambiguity, write role ambiguity rather than RA. Never use abbreviation, avoid abbreviation, because it creates confusion and no one is interested in going through your list of abbreviation and then will answer the questions. What they will avoid to answer those questions. Avoid two-edged questions. Avoid semantics or two-edged questions. Avoid negative questions. Even if you want to type something like this, frame your question in a positive way. Never ask negative questions. Avoid negative questions. Adopt or adapt questions used successfully in other questionnaires. If other questionnaires are available, they are verified and tested, then you can use those questionnaires by taking the permission of the developer. Or if it is available in the open market and there is no need to take the permission, that you have to check. So it is very important your question should be purposeful, it should be concrete, you should use conventional language, use complete sentences, shorter questions, avoid abbreviations, avoid two-edged questions, avoid negative questions, adapt or adopt questions used successful in other questionnaires. Clear? Okay, words to avoid in questionnaire development. Words like all, any, anybody, best, ever, never, etc. Extreme, absolute should be avoided. They place the respondent in a situation where they must either fully agree or they must completely disagree with the extreme position in the question. Do you always observe a traffic sign? No, not always. At times. Would you say all cats have 4 legs? This puts a respondent in a situation they must either full agree or completely disagree. Yes, cats have 4 legs, but all cats, yes, obviously, but because of certain accidents, I have seen the cats. Or do you always observe traffic signs? Always. Do you observe traffic signs? Computer assisted and web based questions. Way to create and administrate the self administrated questionnaire is through mail. Marketing researchers find the response rate increasing. This is not across the board. Questionnaire, especially short one, can be sent via email or provide internet link to the site which hosts this survey. So you can use computer with the advancement of the technology. The computer assist you in getting the responses or administrating the questionnaires. You can administrate your questionnaire through emails. Either you can directly send the mail to the respondent on their email ID, or you can provide them a link on which, by clicking on the link, they can fill up this survey. It may take a less time and the cost. But access is a huge issue. One should have access to these things. Interviews, reading questionnaire items in face-to-face or telephone situation. Our interview could be unstructured or in-depth. This interview, when interview is unstructured or in depth, is basically suited for exploratory research. We described about the types of research: exploratory research, descriptive research. Exploratory research is when we have a little knowledge about the topic and we want to explore more about the topic. That is exploratory research. And we have find someone who is uh, who knows about the topic, and we ask in-depth question to know more about the topic, either with one person or in a focus group. So when you carry out unstructured or in-depth interviews, you can carry out with one person or you can carry out with a group. It could be open-ended items. It should be open-ended items there, so that you ask the questions and they can give you their opinions or the feedbacks. Then only you will get in-depth knowledge of the situation. It cannot be standardized. Good for complex situation. It is good for the complex situation. When situation is complex and one is not able to choose a concrete answer for this, then this type of questions are good. Response rate tend to be the highest with face-to-face interview. Response rate is gonna to be the highest, but for obvious, when you are conducting a face-to-face interview, but there are certain issues, it takes more time, because you have to make up the things like the time at which you want to take the interview should suit to the other person. Smaller sample size is small, and cost is very high. Another type is telephonic interview. That is most popular. It costs less because and less time and less subjective to the interview as compared to face. Although this is subjective, this could be subjective, but less subjective to the interview when we compared it with face interview. It is structured in a telephonic interviews. We carry out a structured type of interviews where there are certain questions which we would like to ask, and we would like to hear about those questions only. Often conducted with computers, can probe for information or clarification. Threshold about 20 minutes. It would be 20 minutes. Constructions, regardless of the survey type, construct in a way allow for candid answers, accurately, consistently, addresses goals, hypotheses, and research questions. What type of a survey type you opt? Construct your questionnaire in a way that allows for a candid answers, so that you will get the appropriate answers. It should be accurate. It should be consistent. It should be valid, reliable. Validity and reliability of your instrument is very important. Address goals, hypotheses, research questions. Your questionnaire, your tool should addresses your goals. It should addresses your hypotheses and research questions. Instruction, beginning of each section should include clear instruction if there is any. Disclose needed information for the respondent to decide whether to complete the survey or not. Don't cheat anyone. Disclose the things, why you are collecting the information from the respondent. How will you gonna to use that information? This will help the respondent to think whether they want to answer those questions or not. Tell whether anonymous, no names or IDs, or confidential, right? Names or IDs not attached to the responses. Whether you want their personal details or not. Give an information about questionnaire time, if there is any time. Be consistent with instructions and format. Avoid ambiguity, confusion, and vagueness. There should be no ambiguity, there should be no confusion and vagueness. It should be crystal clear. Make sure it is absolutely clear what you are asking and how you want it answered. If you want that option, that respondent should choose only one option, then it should be very clear that you should choose one option. Or if you want that respondent can choose more than the one option, make it clear. There should be no confusion, no ambiguity. Avoid indefinite words or response categories. There should be a definite response categories, as there was a question, what type of a drink do you have in your do you had in the morning, right? There could be n number of infinite number of categories, or but one should avoid all these response categories. Avoid infinite categories, indefinite categories. Avoid asking questions beyond the respondent's capabilities. People have limitations, especially when it comes memory of past events. So avoid asking these types of questions. It is pointless to ask people about the things that are not natural way for them to think. At times we avoid to think about something, or we don't remember the things. Don't ask. Don't ask that question beyond the respondent's capabilities. There are various online surveying platforms available like docs.google.com. You can create a form there and carry out the research. freeonlinesurveys.com. You can carry out your research. You can make a questionnaire and then send it to the respondent. tssurveymonkey.com. There are various online survey platforms are available, which helps you to carry out your research. Rating scales. What is rating scale? We discussed about the scales in our previous lectures. Today we will discuss about the rating scales, right? There are various rating scales like dichotomous scale, category scale, fixed or constant sum scale, Likert scale, semantic differential scale, numerical scale, and the staple scales. All these are rating scales. Rating scales means on this we have to rate something. We have to choose the options. Dichotomous scales, the scale used to elicit a yes or no option when we have the two options, and when we have to choose one option. That is the dichotomous scale. Or normally nominal scale is used, like are you happy with your job, yes or no. Or gender, when we ask about the gender, male or female. Next is category scale. What is category scale? Category scale uses multiple items to elicit a single response. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Namaskar.